Today we are talking exclusively about silent auction closings. It's come up about, I was going to say 3, but I think it's come up more than that in recent consultations that I've had with clients. So I jotted down all the ways, 5 of them, that I currently have clients closing their silent auctions, and I thought I would talk to you about them. Always this depends on what you're doing with your own event. I don't know your venue. I don't know what you're trying to accomplish. I don't know how many people that you've got there. All of these decisions are made not alone. They're made in conjunction with other things that are going on. So we're going to talk about this, but I would suggest that you might want to talk with your auctioneer about what's going to work best for you, or some other authority that you have so that you can choose the best approach for you. What works for one does not always work for someone else. Keeping in mind here that before I kind of launch into this, I'm not doing as many videos in 2024 as I have been in the past few years because I'm devoting some time to some other things. So because of that, I'm not on here as frequently. So I want to let you know a couple of things. First off, I did have a chance to release my new auction item guide, and these are the top 100 items I sold for overvalue in the auctions that I worked last year. Somebody wrote in and asked, are there any consigned trips in here? Yes, there are, but rest assured, they sold over their value. Now, value is different than cost. So on the trips that are consigned, the cost might be, we'll say $3,000, but the value might be $6,000. So I put it in here if it oversold the value, not just the cost, but the value. That is available for free on my website. The other thing is that if you are a client, please know that our next Client Corner, our monthly meeting whereby I give you updates and talk about what I'm seeing in the industry and give you some insights and tips, is going to be taking place on Thursday. That's this Thursday, as in a couple of days. That's going to be the 28th. If you haven't got your invitation for that, please reach out. This is for everybody who is an upcoming auction client. We do have a special guest speaker again this month. This month it is going to be someone that I met just this past Saturday while I was working an event in Atlanta. It turns out that this particular school had a lot of restaurant gift cards that came in. And I said, wow, where did you get all these restaurant gift cards? Because they're like $50, $100 and so forth. And they said, well, we've got a grandpa who just went door to door to door to all these different restaurants and managed to get these gift cards. I said, I want to meet this guy. I did meet him. I talked to him on Saturday and I said, I would love it if you could talk to my clients because so often they are frustrated that they can't get restaurant gift cards. So you could talk to them. And he said, no problem. He's going to be showing up and talking for about 10 minutes, talking about the best time to go to the restaurant, who to ask for, what to say, what to leave behind, what to do the next day. All of that so that you can get great restaurant gift cards too. He's got some real good insights. That's Thursday. If you're an upcoming client and haven't gotten the invite, let me know. Starting out now with the silent auction, when to close it. 5 different options. One of them, and this is going to blow your mind, one of my clients opens the auction online about a week or 2 weeks before their event. When it comes time for the gala itself, they move all of the top bids from the online auction onto a paper bid sheet so that the guests at the gala then bid on paper. Then they pack up all of the packages, all of the things that they had it beautifully laid out. They move all of that back to the offices, whatever the high bid was at the on-site auction. They went ahead and make that now the high bid in the online auction, and it runs for another week or so. Now, why do they go online, on paper, online? Why do they do that? Well, in this case, it's an environmental organization. They serve a tri-state area. When they have the gala, they know that mostly the people that are going to come to that gala are from that state. They're not going to be coming from the other states. They have offices in those other states, though, and they certainly have supporters, so that they figure that this is the most fair way for all of their supporters to make a contribution and participate. They are able to buy things at a buy now price if they want. And I don't know for sure, but I would suspect that because they do have these satellite offices in other states, my guess is that if they are bidding online and they are in one of the nearby states, they probably go to their local office to pick up the package and get it there. I don't think they have to drive across to another state to get their packages, or I don't even know that it's shipped. I think it's pretty much they could go to their local office there where the environmental center has a place and probably pick it up there. So that's why they do it. Tri-state area, big area. They're trying to make it fair for everyone. So they go online, then to paper, then to online. Second option, you can open the online auction early and then you move it to paper. I've got quite a few groups that do this. In fact, I was sharing with my clients, I think a third of my clients last year are still using paper. And there's good reasons for that. They are using paper because they're able to get a higher return on investment in their silent auction than if they're in an online environment. Online environment, for the most part, is going to earn you 50 to 65% of value. And for a lot of paper bid sheets, it's the same. However, if you use all the best practices available to you for a good silent auction, what my clients see is that they're getting higher returns on their silent auction if they use paper and use all these best practices. So what they're doing is they're opening up their online auction early so anybody can participate in that. And even if they're not attending the event, they can go ahead and buy now, getting some items. Anything that isn't sold at the buy now is then transferred. That high bid is transferred to a paper bid sheet. They have the paper bid sheets at the event and they close it out that night. Number 3, open online early and then close it online at the event. This is probably what I see the most. So they're opening up the silent auction online. People can either go to the website and bid using a laptop, or they can use their mobile phone and bid that way. And then during the event itself, we're closing that auction. So it's in the cloud, if you want to call it that. People are bidding on their phone at the gala. If somebody's sitting at home and wants to participate, they can participate through their phone or their laptop, whatever the case might be, but it's closing that night at the event. So for people who are attending the gala, they can take their items that night. But for people who are not attending the gala who win, then they're going to need to make arrangements to come into the nonprofit or come into the school and get the item. And then, that might be at a later date, in a week or so. Fourth option, open the online auction, run it completely separate from the gala itself. When we're doing that, it's typically opening before the gala and closing after the gala. So it's happening in tandem with the gala at the same time as the gala, but it's not really part of the gala itself. I'm mentioning it that night, but in essence, it's happening as a backdrop to the on-site. Got a gnat in here. It's happening as a backdrop to the on-site gala that's taking place. So it may open a week before the gala and it may end a week later. It's happening, but it's all happening online. Number 5, open the online at the event and then run it online to close it after the event. So in those cases, goodness gracious, where's this gnat coming from? Gnats are so annoying, I got plants, but I bought these little yellow sticky things that are supposed to trap them, and I just put them up. Apparently this one got away. So you open it up at the gala. I'll make an announcement about that. Don't forget, friends, we're opening up our online auction here tonight, and then that will run typically for a week post-gala. So they use the gala as the big launch for the online auction, but then it closes about a week later. If you're looking for other great tips, go over and head to the website, redappleauctions.com. I appreciate everybody who likes, who shares, who subscribes. I'll be back on when I'm inspired to do another video. As always, good luck to you in your fundraising auction.